We are too.
My apologies.
That's okay. Yeah. We saved the best for you, so.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Wanna start
We
the
are recording?
Are we recording?
Yes, sir.
Okay, call to order the Lowell City Council regular meeting for Tuesday, January 19th at 7:05. Roll call, please.
Mayor Bennett,
Here.
Councilor Stratus,
Present.
Councilor Drott,
Here.
Councilor Myers,
I am here.
and Councilor Harris is excused.
Okay. Okay, we have a quorum. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
To the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up, anybody have anything they want to add, subtract from the agenda tonight? Any ideas? Otherwise, we'll go with it as it's presented. First item up is the consent agenda. Let me get on the right page. Okay, consent agenda includes the minutes from the city council regular meeting for December 15th, 2020, approval of the minutes of the city council special meeting and work session for January 5th, 2021. Financial report for December 2020 and check register for December 2020. Is there anything anyone wants to take out for discussion later on?
Nope.
Not hearing, someone want to make a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as written.
Okay.
Second.
I think you said second, Sam?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I talked over you, I'm sorry. Okay. In that case, all those in favor of consent agenda approval for minutes of December 15th, special meeting work session for January 5th, financial report for November 2020, and check register for December 2020. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not hearing any. Public comments? Anything from the public tonight? Okay. Public will hold it till later. Council comments at this point? Anything from anybody?
Not yet.
Okay, then we're up to staff reports. First from the city administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everybody. I'm going on my third week on the job. Excited to be here. I've had a productive and action-packed first 2 weeks. I'll start my report by just summarizing COVID-19 activity within Lane County. As of the last report, there has been a total increase of 2,757 cases in Lane County. In our zip code, 23 cases as of the county's January 14th report. The county has begun vaccine administration. Right now, they are focusing on the healthcare and long-term care facility residents. On January 27th at 7 p.m., we will be holding a virtual open house for members of the community. This is for our code update that goes along with the downtown master plan. So this project is proceeding on schedule. We already have the details posted on the city website. I will be putting a Zoom link up there soon so that members of the community can tune in and listen to our planners with the Council of Governments describe what the project's all about for members of the community to ask questions as well. We will record that meeting and put that on the website for interested citizens to review if they're not able to make it on the 27th. Our staff have also placed flyers in local businesses to get the word out. I attended the Planning Commission's January 6th meeting, starting to work on the property line adjustment for the city's recently acquired properties on 205 and 295 East Main Street. I have also spent the first 2 weeks on the job in various meetings, getting up to speed on city projects and progress. That includes meetings with city staff. I've met with all 5 councilors now and have already met with many folks out there in the community and with our external partners. I'm starting to wrap my head around what we need to work on. And I just want to thank the city team and the city council for being welcoming and helpful as I get started into my role. That concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions that city council might have.
Anyone? Okay. Not hearing any. Public Works, Mr. Baker?
Give me 1 second here to pull this up. Okay, Mayor Benton, Council, Public Works Report. Excuse me. Start off with the streets and parks. Staff met with Civil West, Riverman Materials, Lane County, pretty much everybody on the north side of town for the McDougal subdivision in regards to some ADA ramps and landings, specifically the sidewalks that we're tying in from Moss Street, which is a county road, up to Crestview Estates. So they are ripping them out and redoing them again to make sure they meet the ADA standards. And also the sanitary sewer tie-in, they tied in on Seneca Street right there by Industrial. So we had to make the current access ramp, which was ADA compliant when it was put in the 90s, to the current standards. So nothing major there. All parties agreed. Everybody left the meeting pretty happy. This is kind of old news. It's been dealt with, but staff received several complaints, specifically last week and late the week before, of people camping on the stage again. I notified Oak Ridge, and apparently they dealt with it. I haven't seen them there since, so bear with me here. Water treatment plant. Can you guys hear me fine?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was getting feedback from somebody there. Water treatment plant, all annual backflow tests are complete citywide. Replacement motors have been ordered to replace the non-working motors at the towers. These are the motors and pumps that feed the high tank reservoir. It's a 2,500 gallon tank up the far side of the Nelson's property. It's pretty critical. This supplies a little bit of drinking water, but mostly fire protection to the residents of First Street, to the highest elevation we have. So one of them, unsure of the cause of the failure. It actually happened right before the snowstorm. And then the other one hasn't worked since I've been here. So worked out with J&K, and we got a pretty good deal on some new motors. We actually installed them today. So that was a good thing for us. One of them will be used in service, and the other will be kept online as a critical spare. So,
You said before the snowstorm. You're not talking about 2 years ago, are you?
yeah, yes, I am.
So has there been a motor in there all this time or not?
No, so it's been working still. We had spares. You know, we've had spares. We try to keep spares. There's 3 pumps, and we only ever use 1 at a time, and then 2 for a backup. So you got a lead lag, especially in the summertime, you know, July, August, September. And then the third one is there in case you had a catastrophic failure like we did. So you just switch that. We did start this process back when the failure was noticed and documented. A little bit, not necessarily tricky, but they're very expensive, just the motor aspect of things. So we were in a good position. We had a good working order one. We check it every day. So we went ahead and waited a little bit. COVID put a little bit of a damper on things, but not too much. And the electrician was able to work with a vendor, and we actually got both the new motors for less than the price of one motor, what we were normally looking at. So we got a pretty good deal on it, well worth the wait. And we've had no issues with that stuff up there. So that was definitely a win-win for public
Yeah.
works for the city.
Too, and I was wondering how we were doing that, so, but.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me. Wastewater treatment plant, replacement valve has been ordered for the east digester drain valve. There's 2 digesters there. This is literally just to remove the solids out of it for annual maintenance and cleaning inspection. The valve broke in the closed position, luckily for us. So looking like we're going to be able to get it replaced next week. It was 2 weeks out when we ordered it. So code enforcement, I followed up today, still waiting for signed copies of the towing contracts from the vendors, which brings me to my next point. We received several phone calls at City Hall today about the motorhome that everybody knows about on Highland. I just wanted to make clear to you guys that we're not dragging our feet or anything. I spoke with all the tow companies, so has Oak Ridge, and specifically Chief Martin. It is $3,500 to tow that RV. That is $3,500 up front, and that is $3,500 that does not get reimbursed. So it is becoming a large issue. We have worked with this individual for a very long time. Several notices, several warnings, kind of in a gray area. The vehicle is not registered to this person, so citing the person would do nothing. The only option is to tow it. Spoke with CA a little bit about it his first week here. It's kind of a hectic week. Kind of leaning on the fence that if we can scrap some money together just to get it out, to prove that we're serious, you know, and set kind of a precedent. But then if you think about it, the $3,500 is more than we budget for the entire code enforcement. So kind of on the fence about it. I did receive 2 additional tow companies this morning from a citizen to try and reach out to see. The reason with RVs, I've talked about this before, but especially that model, you have asbestos. So you have a hazardous disposal, then usually you have people's septic in there, and then water and stuff like that. The personal belongings is not really a big issue. It's no different than when a vehicle gets towed from a parking lot. So we were warned about RVs in the very beginning of this when we originally drafted the towing contract, former CA and myself. So we're still working out the details on it. So, but yeah, today is the first day that we've had several complaints from the public in regards to that. So we will work out a plan and make something happen.
Is someone living in it?
No,
Or-
not as far as to my knowledge. No, it's crammed full of so much stuff. I don't think anybody can get in it. So,
I see it there myself, so.
yeah.
You're talking about the ADA ramps, and I know I talked to a state engineer on this, and you know, they put those things in there, go back and test them, and it's like a half a degree this way and a half a degree that way. They have to either grind them out, rip them out, pour new ones. So I don't know how much those are off, but I tell you what, it's a really tight science that they're held to, whether or not anybody uses them or not. But
They were
there's-
0.2% off.
yeah, 2%,
0.2.
0.2. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
0.2. Yep. So, and they were designed and scoped out with the new changes, but the ADA laws changed in June of last year. So it just, I'm not sure what it was. Looks like somebody might have stepped it right after they poured it, because it's the part that has the yellow bubbles in it for traction, the little domes, and every single spot but one tiny corner is perfect. And it really looks like somebody stepped on it or maybe bumped it when they were setting it. But it's the county's property, and just like the city of Lowell, after it's installed, they assume all responsibility and liability for it, so they want it done right, and I totally agree with them. So
Statewide,
yeah,
okay. Any questions for Max?
I got one last thing, Don.
Okay. Oops.
Just one last thing, and it's just more of an update. We have not had any more attempts to break into the water treatment plant, any destruction of the fences or anything. Oak Ridge is still doing nightly patrols there, which is our point. They're not just doing it at the water plant, they're mostly doing it citywide. So the cameras seem to be a good deterrent, the bars we put back up and all the added security measures. One thing, I did receive a text message and a phone call at 3:30 in the morning on Saturday for some people breaking into a work vehicle very close to the water treatment facility. They were caught in the act. They took off, ran towards the dam. Well, somebody picked them up. The person followed them and there was 2 running vehicles waiting there. This person got out of the rig, filed a full police report. This person got out of the rig and confronted all 3 of them. And all 3 people, well, yeah, he confronted them, turned them into the sheriff's department. So just kind of be on the lookout. Definitely increased activity. Everybody knows that. We had an issue a couple weeks ago up on Wetlow and another issue up on First Street. So everybody just do a neighborly thing, keep an eye out for everybody. I think Lowell's pretty good at that anyways. So yeah, and don't be afraid to call 911. The sheriff's department can't do anything if they don't know about it. So, and that's all.
All right, next up is a police report. It's in your packet there to see. Mr. Cottle, anything to add besides what's written there?
Nothing to add, Mr. Mayor. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take that down and reach out to our community partner for a response.
Okay, thank you. Okay, not hearing anything.
This time.
Next up is new business, resolution 759. The resolution to adopt the City of Lowell's 2021 strategic plan. You want to kick this off, Mr. Cole?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I took the feedback from your January 5 work session on the strategic plan, and I have tried to incorporate that into an updated plan, which is reflected here. I've prepared a resolution to adopt this as your guiding plan for 2021. If council decides that this plan is an accurate reflection of the feedback and the discussion from the work session, then my recommendation would be to approve the resolution. If amendments need to be made to incorporate your feedback, then the resolution could be approved as amended, or just further decision could be postponed to a later meeting. But I've done my best to incorporate the ideas that were discussed in the January 5 work session.
Thank you.
And if counselors have would like to review those changes, then I'm happy to go over that as well.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, I know I spent a lot of time talking with this last time, and I don't want to say the same words all over again, but if everybody's had a chance to look through it, I can go through by topic if you want, and just do topics and like that. If someone has a concern about any area, we can just do it by the concerns. If everybody feels comfortable with the objectives as presented by the city administrator, then we can make a motion to approve.
I'd just like to say, hey, Jeremy,
Yes, sir.
in the future, when we're doing these, can we have comments that are stricken, lined out, but still represented, and any changes represented in a highlighted yellow or something, so that we can actually see the changes that occurred and how they occurred?
Absolutely, that's a great idea, and I can actually send that to City Council tomorrow. Be happy to do so. That's a great idea.
Any other requests?
I feel comfortable if it represents the discussions we had at the last meeting regarding the objectives and strategic plan.
I agree.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve. Stand by, let me get back to there. There we go. Make a motion to approve resolution 759, a resolution to adopt the City of Lowell's 2021 strategic plan.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there need for further discussion or questions? Not hearing any. All those in favor of motion to approve resolution 759, a resolution to adopt the City of Lowell's 2021 strategic plan, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good. Gives us a good starting place. Next up, we have the judge's contract, I believe.
I have a question about this one. Is this the
Okay.
same judge that we've been using? I thought there was a woman.
No, it's a man, Frank. Is that-
Mr. Mayor, I could perhaps touch on that.
Okay.
I believe, I don't know the exact history here, Counselor, but I believe Mr. Segarra was out of the country for a year or so. And as the contract specifies, he has to provide a replacement. So I believe that might have been what happened there. And perhaps Mr. Baker could chime on that as well if he's, if he can speak to that.
Yeah, he took a temporary leave to deal with some other things. Yeah, but he is back, Sam. It's the same judge we had pretty regularly for the last couple of years. So fill in a short time though.
Yeah, my understanding, he's still a practicing attorney, and he went down to California to expand his license to get more training or something of that nature. So that was, so he's back now. He's very interesting to watch. I like the fellow. Good. And do you want to speak to the contracts on Mr. Connell?
Mr. Segarra's contract has expired as of the end of December. If approved, this would renew the contract for a 4-year term. He is requesting an increase in his hourly rate. When the contract was first approved back in 2016, it was $75 an hour, and he's requesting an increase to $100. Based on some calculations I did with the city clerk, we're looking at an approximate $300 to $600 per year increase based on the actual hours that he bills us.
Okay. Any questions?
How much does the city make a year from the municipal court?
Sir, I don't know off the top of my head. Be happy to get that information to you.
It's in the financial report, and I agree, I don't know either. We do make some money on it, but what happens is we take the money that he brings in, we pay him his hourly fee, then we pay Oak Ridge half of what we take in. And I guess before that, we send money to the state. So we start off by giving the judge some money, we give the state some money, and then we take what's left and we split it with Oak Ridge. And
So,
we usually send them a check for, I don't know, $300, $400, $500. I don't know if it's every quarter or something like that. So it's not a grand amount of money, but
Well, I'm assuming that all of the citations that are issued that we adjudicate in our court are issued by our Oak Ridge patrols, correct? So we had one moving violation in the entire month of, on this police report from December.
yeah, it may well be that we don't have a court for a month or 2 months or whatever. But all of the code enforcements, those also go in there, I believe, also.
Okay.
And dog bites and things like that.
Well, I'd definitely be interested to see what the numbers pan out here in terms of, value in for value out. I mean, I know you just same as having the police force, it's above and beyond the monetary value of it. But when we're talking about adjustments of $300 to $600 a year, I think we need to evaluate things like that at some time.
I have the financial statements pulled up here if Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I'll wait.
I can perhaps provide an answer to that
The
question.
general fund? Municipal court, we've had $1,500 worth of activity so far this year. That's from July to now. So we'll have, and we're forecast to have 2,500 by the end of the year. We're already halfway through, and we're 1,600. We'll probably have about $3,000 worth of income there.
So, and we're talking about a $300 to $600 increase. What is our amount of pay, our salary or contracted agreement that we're paying the judge at this point previous to the $300 or $600 more a year?
It's the same fellow. We just, it's just he increases from 75 to $100 an hour.
How much are we paying him per year?
Hold on.
His contract is budgeted at $1,250.
Okay, so we have a net positive even with and that's probably not including the code enforcement as well.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's about $3,000. He gets 1,000, we get 1,000, and Oak Ridge gets 1,000.
okay. Thank you.
Good question.
Yes.
Any other questions about the judge? If not, I make a motion to approve the contract for municipal services and authorizing the mayor to sign. Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Further discussion? All those in favor of a motion to approve the contract for municipal services and authorizing the mayor to sign signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And that's the end of new business. We have other business in here. And discussion on potential letters of support for business identification signage on Highway 58. You want to update us on that, Mr. Connell?
We had a request from a local business owner on potentially providing letters of support from the city to provide to the Oregon Department of Transportation for signage along Highway 58. The signage it's just the signs that you see on the highway or the interstate that say gas or food to indicate to motorists that there are amenities just off the exit. At this time, the business owner is not requesting a city letter. They have other elected officials that they're working with. But this is on the agenda for discussion. And if there's a consensus among the city council, if this comes up again, the city administrator could draft a letter for either the mayor, economic development commission, or other city councilors to sign in order to provide to the Department of Transportation. At this time, we're not requesting formal action, just a discussion and hopefully a consensus on how to move forward with this.
I think
No,
it's
that's a great idea. Get people in here, give them an
Right.
option.
it's a start to what we're building.
And it helps support the downtown plan if we can get some people off the 58 and to come in here. As of right now, they're kind of at a standstill, but like I say, this, the idea being that maybe take it to economic development or whoever and see if they've got some ideas on signage of how to present it to the people driving by out there. So what it is, do we have a consensus to support?
I got a question.
Sure,
Would
go
would
ahead.
it behoove us to go above and beyond this situation to where this one local business person is requesting this? Could we push to maybe try to get some consensus among any other businesses in Lowell that might be interested in this and approach ODOT or the county and get more signage on the freeway? Almost every exit on I-5 and different places have the different amenities that might be there. So would it behoove us to just make a push to try to get more of this signage put up rather than just one?
Right now, they seem to be carrying the ball on that, and so I think at this point, the city administrator is busy enough as it is. There's several, the local businesses are united together. They wanted to get a number of signs, so for each of the businesses. So we're gonna let them carry the ball on this for right now. And if the thing was, is they came back and they wanted a letter of support. And if they do it again, what we won't be able to do is to actually go ahead and write the letter versus having to have a council meeting and to get together and to approve it and stuff like that. So we can just go ahead and, say we have a consensus to support. And if Jeremy gets asked to put something together, then he can send an email out and saying to everybody saying, I'm putting together a letter and it's going to be coming, and that way we can get people to go by and sign on to it and agree to it. So right now it's just we're preparing the game field for action. Other questions?
Great idea.
Okay. Okay, everybody agree it's a good idea? We have a consensus?
Yep.
Nods. Good. Okay, good. Yeah, we want to support our local businesses. They need all the help they can get. Okay.
And hey, Jeremy, you're not doing nothing tonight, right? You can whip that out, get it to us tomorrow.
Sure, okay.
All righty. We're thin on mayor comments. Jeremy and I did go by Crestwell and saw their city hall. We used a special password. We got to go inside as masked men and talk to, I think, one of the better city administrators in the area and see what they're doing, how they're doing. And so that was something we did today. Like you say, we had a field trip. We had to go and see, and then that was good. That's all I have. Anything from public community comments? Anything? Okay. I see silence over here. Anything else from the council? Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Max,
Yes, sir.
if we continue to have problems on the stage at Rolling Rock Park, have we ever looked into the cost of those accordion style enclosures that could close the stage off? The kind they use at the malls to close doors and things. Would it be worth investigating, just, making a couple of calls and seeing what it would cost if we continue to have ongoing issues in the park?
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's funny you bring that up. We actually walked the stage last week and there's already holes drilled in the concrete for the bars, that you kind of put up and then push the pins down. So I was going to try to talk to some of the volunteers that, have been around way before me, because they had to used to do something there. But yeah, the accordion doors or the aluminum gates, as you guys know from the last couple times about staff reports, they've repeatedly broke the electrical outlets. They just bust them off. They keep cutting the locks and opening electrical cabinets. And cameras are only going to be so good. People, it's just becoming more of a nuisance. It's consuming quite a bit of staff time. So yeah, I agree. That's probably definitely something we should look into.
I guess my only concern would be if we're just inviting more vandalism. Are we going to incur a cost that then they're going to destroy?
Right. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. We can look at some options though. I mean, there might be some cost-effective options, and
there might be some ways to put enclosures around those boxes that are more sturdy than just a lock on a general electrical, a box on the tabs on
Right.
it, and covers to some outlets that we could use or something in particular areas that might be cheaper. But I was just, that would solve the problem altogether if we could keep them from breaking those expandable gates down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely look into it.
Good plan.
My concern if somebody pinched their fingers in one of those gates, you know, when they're trying to vandalize it.
Yeah. And then sue us.
Were they getting inside behind the stage or just, were they getting inside the enclosure itself?
No, 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 no. Just, you know, the little back sides and the front. And
Uh,
we did turn the electrical off a while back because people were up with the electrical there. It is a nice thing to be able to offer to people, but yeah,
Who's ruined it?
much. So
Keep after it.
So Sean, did you have anything?
What's that?
what's that, Sam?
I asked if Sean had anything, or if he was just popping in to visit.
Oh, just hanging out and thinking about the Airbnb sign for our RVs in town.
Oh, no.
There you go. That's a good plan.
Always think-
Always-
Oh, no.
Who raised that $3,500 to get that thing hauled out, huh?
Yeah.
Honestly, I did send Max the name for the one that hauled the RV off from 187 East Second. That was a little cheaper, but to get one more option there.
Hmm.
And then the other thing I don't know that Jeremy has seen this yet, but I did send information over through Marcia on that. You mentioned 205 and 295. There was a small piece of land that they didn't attach in the legal description, and that has been cleared up.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Sean. I did see that email, and I appreciate your work on that, and I'll be getting in touch with you. I'd like to huddle up with you and just have a formal introduction. We haven't had a chance to do that yet.
I figured you'd be busy, so we have, yeah, anytime you'd like.
Anything else from anybody? If not, we're adjourned at, wait a minute, hold on, we got somebody.
Yeah, it's Paul O'Regan, 62 East Third. Don't we have cameras on the stage to catch these people? I thought we had security cameras.
Are they pointed at the stage or at the restrooms or both?
They're pointed broadly over the park. There's one that into the access door, you know, where we keep the cameras and the equipment and everything. The problem is, you know, we didn't point anything directly at the stage, one for privacy. And two, you know, there's nothing really to capture there. So we have more of a broad angle over the front of a stage and then one out the east side and out the west side. And the cameras have worked in the past. You know, we caught the vandals that attempted to light the stage on fire. We caught the spray painters. We've caught a lot of things. The problem is if they come in from the south side, which is how they're getting in there, mostly referring to the people sleeping in the park. But you know, there's always a way around a camera. And if somebody, especially a vandal or something, if they wanted to do something, usually they're pretty cautious of that. You know, 12 cameras up at the water plant and they snuck right around them and broke in. So the cameras are only so good. You know, I did make sure all the lights are working, that try to discourage a little bit of the activities in the twilight hours. I did add a Oak Ridge's loop. They already do that loop anyway. So does the Lane County Sheriff's Office. We could always add more cameras. We have room for 5 more cameras on that DVR, and that might not be a bad idea. But yeah, we do have cameras on that building hall.
Okay.
I actually do have another thing if we have time.
Okay. What's that, Sean?
Yes, sir. Sean Watson. We did just take a new listing on Nate Stapleton on the far extension of North Highland. He still had 6 lots and he was only building basically when we first came on one home a year. I think there's currently 5 homes there with 6 remaining lots. And just today they signed a listing agreement. So we'll have 6 more lots that are available to sell to any builder. So doesn't have to be built by him, or so he's freed that up, and they'll allow Adair, Simplicity, any of those that want to build to their covenant. So it really isn't that hard to do, but there's 6 more lots that we could actually get built on.
Wow, fantastic.
We're going to start it. Let's see, 4 of them are 75,000. There's 2 corner lots that they say that allow duplexes. We want to go back and double check that, but I think that previous council agreed to that when they did it. So those would be 100. So they're actually fairly affordable lots because they're not going to require a whole lot of excavation work or buildup. So
Good. Okay, thank you, Sean. Good work. Okay. Anything else by anybody? Okay. Not hearing anything, we're adjourned at 7:46.
Good night, everyone. Good meeting.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah.